Winners are not made in front of crowds or on the biggest stages. They're built in the quiet moments when no one's watching, when the alarm goes off before sunrise, when the gym is empty, when the work feels endless and unnoticed. That's where the real foundation is laid. It's not glamorous. There's no applause, no validation, just repetition, sweat, and unwavering belief. Most people wait to be motivated, but the ones who actually win in life don't wait for a feeling. They move with intention. They show up whether they feel like it or not, and that's what separates them. They know every silent hour of work compounds. They know while others rest, they're building something deeper: resilience, character, and a will that can't be shaken. It's in those silent battles, when your mind says stop and your purpose says go, that a winner is truly formed. Nobody posts those moments on social media. No one claps when you make the hard choice in private. But that's where it all starts. That's where you become something different. Every late night of study, every early morning run, every extra rep when your body says no, that's when you're separating from the pack. That's where you're building armor for when things really get tough. Most people think winning starts when the whistle blows or the lights turn on. But the ones who really know, they understand it started long before that. The decision to prepare, to be disciplined when no one else is watching, to stick to a routine when no one's holding you accountable, that's what puts you in position to win. It's not about proving anything to the world. It's about proving to yourself that you can be trusted, that you have what it takes to stay true when everything in you wants to quit. And when the moment finally comes, when the spotlight does hit, it won't be pressure. It'll be peace, because you'll know you've already paid the price in silence. You'll step into that moment not hoping you're ready, but knowing you are. That's the mindset of a winner, and that mindset is forged long before the world even knows your name. Discipline is what carries you when motivation disappears. Motivation is fleeting. It shows up when things feel exciting, when goals are fresh, and the vision is clear. But the truth is, that feeling fades fast. There will be days when the fire isn't there, when the bed is too warm, the task is too heavy, or your body feels too tired. That's when most people stop. They say, not today, and push it off until tomorrow. But winners don't wait for inspiration to hit. They rely on habits, structure, and commitment. They've trained their minds to act regardless of emotion. Doing something once or twice when you're hyped up doesn't make you a winner. Doing it every single day, even when it's boring, even when it's uncomfortable, that's the difference. Discipline is about showing up because you said you would. It's honoring the commitment you made to yourself long after the mood you made it in has left. That's strength, that's maturity, that's what builds progress you can actually measure. People talk about work ethic like it's this flashy badge of honor, but real work ethic lives in the details. It lives in what you do when no one will ever know. Do you cut corners when no one's around? Do you still train like someone's watching? Because that's discipline. Winners hold themselves to a higher standard whether anyone's paying attention or not. It's not about applause, it's about legacy. There are no shortcuts. You can't cheat consistency. You don't get to skip the hard parts. Every skipped workout, every excuse, every delay adds up. But so does every disciplined choice. Every day you show up and push forward becomes a brick in the foundation of your success. Eventually, the gap between you and the rest becomes unbridgeable. That's why discipline matters more than motivation. It's what gets you out of bed. It's what gets you through the workout. It's what makes you read one more chapter, rehearse one more time, and do one more rep. When others stop, discipline keeps you moving. It turns average days into productive ones. It transforms ordinary people into relentless achievers. Discipline doesn't care how you feel, it only asks, did you show up? That answer is what defines a winner. Pressure isn't something to run from. It's something to embrace. Pressure is not the enemy. It's the privilege that comes with pursuing something meaningful. Most people avoid it because it exposes their weaknesses. It forces them out of their comfort zone and into uncertainty, but winners see it differently. Pressure means you're in the fight. It means you're doing something that matters. The weight of expectations, the high stakes, the fear of failure. It's all part of the process. And instead of backing down, the ones with the right mindset rise up. They use it to focus, to sharpen their thinking, to fuel their performance. There's a reason most people fold when the heat gets turned up. Pressure reveals who's prepared and who's pretending, and preparation isn't just physical, it's mental. When you've done the work, when you've put in the hours, when you've built yourself from the inside out, pressure doesn't shake you. It centers you. You don't get flustered, you get locked in. The crowd, the noise, the chaos. They fade. All that's left is the moment, and you meet it head on. The truth is, no great success happens without pressure. Champions feel it. Leaders feel it. Anyone who chooses the hard road will eventually feel the weight. But the difference is, they don't let it break them. They train their minds to welcome it, because pressure creates urgency. It demands focus. It weeds out the excuses and exposes your real potential. It forces you to either fold or rise, and a winner always chooses to rise. You don't grow stronger by avoiding challenges. You grow by stepping into them. You become more by putting yourself in situations that test you, stretch you, and force you to adapt. Pressure is a gift. It reveals what you're really made of. You learn to perform under stress. You learn to breathe when the walls are closing in. And more than anything, you learn that you can handle it. So when pressure shows up, don't flinch, don't run, lean into it, smile at it. Let it push you to levels you didn't know you had. Because while most people are looking for comfort, winners are looking for the fire. They know the real growth is always found in the hardest moments. Maturity isn't about age or experience. It's about how you respond when things don't go your way. It's about emotional control, staying calm in chaos, and choosing to rise above ego, distractions, and quick reactions. Maturity means understanding the bigger picture. It's knowing that setbacks aren't signs to quit, but signals to adjust, learn, and keep going. Most people break under frustration. They lose focus when something small throws them off. But winners, they keep their eyes forward. They stay grounded, no matter the noise around them. Maturity allows you to lead yourself and eventually others. It's what makes you dependable. People can count on someone who doesn't panic, who doesn't fold, who doesn't let emotions make decisions for them. That's what separates the talented from the trusted. Talent gets you in the door, but maturity keeps you in the room. You stop blaming, you stop complaining, you stop needing everything to be perfect. You take responsibility, you take ownership. You keep showing up and doing the work, even when life doesn't hand you a clean path. Real growth happens when you start responding to problems with composure. When your first instinct isn't to explode, but to breathe, to think, to choose a higher standard. Maturity teaches you that the grind doesn't always feel good, but it's always worth it. It reminds you that every decision matters and that short-term feelings don't deserve long-term power over your life. In a world that glorifies instant gratification, maturity is the mindset that says, I can wait. I can sacrifice now to gain later. You stop needing to be right and start needing to be better. You stop proving people wrong and start proving yourself right. You begin to understand that true power isn't loud, it's controlled, it's steady. It doesn't come from forcing things, but from mastering yourself. And when you have that kind of maturity, you become dangerous, in the best way, because now you're not reacting, you're responding. You're not chasing every emotion. You're guiding your life with purpose and clarity. That's what maturity brings. It brings peace in pressure. It brings strength in storms, and more than anything, it gives you the ability to keep moving forward with intention, even when everything else tries to pull you off course. The thoughts you carry shape the life you build. Your mindset is the engine that drives your actions, and your actions are what produce your results. Most people never win because they lose the battle in their mind long before they step into the arena. They doubt, they fear, they hesitate. But those who win, the ones who really separate themselves, train their minds first. They feed their thoughts with belief, focus, and clarity. They understand that if you can't win in your head, you'll never win in real life. Every decision starts with a thought. And when you fill your mind with discipline, drive, and purpose, you start making choices that align with the person you're trying to become. You stop living based on feelings, and you start living based on standards. The winners out there, they don't hope for results. They take the thoughts that push them forward and build actions around them. They walk into every day with intent, not impulse. You have to learn to guard your mind, set like your future depends on it, because it does. Negative thoughts are like rust. They eat away at your edge. They slow you down. But when your mindset is strong, when it's locked in, you become resilient. You become unstoppable. The world can throw punches, but you keep stepping forward because you've already done the hard work in your mind. You've already decided who you are, what you're about, and what you will or will not accept. This kind of mental toughness doesn't show up overnight. It's built by repetition, by catching yourself in moments of weakness and choosing strength instead. It's telling yourself the truth, even when it's hard. It's training your thoughts every day, the same way an athlete trains their body. You control your thoughts, or they control you. There is no in between. So, if you want to win, start by mastering your mindset. Start thinking like a champion before anyone ever sees you win. Start acting like a pro before you ever get the title. The scoreboard, the trophies, the recognition, they're just a reflection of the mindset you carry into battle every single day. Build that mindset, and your actions will follow. And when your actions follow, results become inevitable. Failure isn't final, it's feedback. It's not the end of the road unless you decide to quit walking. Everyone wants success, but few are willing to fail for it. The truth is, failure is not a flaw in the process. It is the process. You don't grow when everything goes right. You grow when it doesn't, when the plan falls apart, when you miss the shot, when the door closes. That's where winners are made. Not because they avoid failure, but because they learn to absorb it, adjust, and come back stronger. Most people take failure personally. They let it define them. They say, I failed, and believe that means I'm a failure. But that's not how winners think. They know failure is a lesson, not a label. They analyze it. They ask, what can I learn? What can I do better? Then they get back to work. No sulking, no excuses. Just reflection, correction, and elevation. That's what growth looks like. You've got to understand. When you're chasing something big, something meaningful, you're going to trip. You're going to get knocked down, you're going to feel that sting, but you also get to decide how you respond. Winners don't run from the pain, they face it, they get honest with themselves, they use failure as a mirror, not a wall. And what they find in that mirror is clarity, hunger, and fire to go again. There's something powerful that happens when you fail and still keep moving. You build grit. You build calluses on your character. You develop confidence that doesn't depend on outcome because you start to realize that failure can't stop you unless you let it. And the more you fail, the more dangerous you become because you're no longer afraid of it. You've learned to use it. Every failure you face gives you one of two things, a lesson or a deeper level of determination. Either way, you're getting better. Either way, you're building something real. So stop fearing failure, expect it, embrace it, use it, because those moments that feel like the biggest setbacks, they're often just setting you up for your biggest breakthroughs. The ones who win are the ones who fall forward and keep going. Every single time, success isn't just about achieving a goal, it's about sustaining the level required to stay there, and that comes from consistency. Anyone can show up once. Anyone can be great for a day. But the people who win and keep winning are the ones who build routines, who live with purpose daily, and who treat every day as a step forward, no matter how small. Consistency is what builds momentum. And momentum, once it's in motion, becomes almost impossible to stop. You can't rely on how you feel. Some days you'll be tired. Some days the motivation won't be there. You'll question if it's worth it. But consistency isn't emotional. It's a choice. It's what you do when no one's watching. It's the way you train when there's no spotlight. It's getting up early, sticking to the plan, and doing the work again and again and again. Over time, that daily discipline stacks up, and while others are searching for shortcuts, you're building a solid foundation. Success never happens overnight. It's earned through repetition, through boring, unglamorous, often overlooked work that most people aren't willing to do. It's built in the early mornings, the late nights, and the moments when quitting seems easier than pushing forward. But winners keep showing up. Not just when it's convenient, but especially when it's not. That's what separates those who make it from those who don't. There's power in routine. When you build systems that support your growth, you remove the guesswork. You don't wait to feel inspired. You get to work because it's what you do. You become the kind of person who can be counted on, the kind who shows up, executes, and delivers. Day in and day out, that's how trust is built. That's how legacy is built. You want greatness, be consistent. You want results that last, be consistent. You want to build a mindset that can't be shaken, be consistent. Not for a day, not for a week, but for years. That's the cost. But that's also the reward. Because when you put in the work daily, you stop hoping for breakthroughs and start expecting them. And when the moment finally comes, you'll be ready. Not because you got lucky, but because you never stopped showing up.